So there you have it. Those are your nominees for Game of the Year. And yes, that means you'll hear the Game Awards Orchestra conducted by Lord Bell.
Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault Gaming video. Xvault here, and today we got your gaming news for the week, and there's a lot that came out, so again, we're going to have another news segment, and in regards to this, we're going to have 3 separate topics here, so we got a lot to go over, a lot to talk about, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I was saying, what we're going to do is jump right to it. Again, we have the 3 main topics and a lot to go over, so we can condense this here. So let's get right to it here. So the first topic at hand, of course, as the opening video shows, we are going to talk about the Game Awards. Now, the Game Awards had a little excerpt here that they did announce the fact that you can now be nominated as a Game of the Year nominee, even if you are a DLC, remake, or remaster. So this was met with a lot of different aspects, a lot of different opinions, of course, in regards to why, mainly, not so much even a remaster or remake, those are questionable as well, but in regards to it being DLC, regardless if the DLC is 10 hours, 30 hours, 60 hours, whatever the case is, it's a DLC, it is what it is. So, as you can see, the nominees, as we go through there, is, of course, Astrobot, Balatro. A lot of you probably didn't play this indie card game. I heard it was very good, so that there or the other. Black Myth Wukong, which all the naysayers and all the spinning going on in regards to cancel culture, in regards to woke culture, stuff like that. That game does make them look like morons, and that does get nominated. In addition, we get Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor, ReFantazio. And then, of course, to round out the topic, we're getting Elden Ring's DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree. So a lot of folks not too happy about that. A lot of pushback to Jeff. A lot of other board nominees have actually kind of come out under different guises and stuff like that, stating that they kind of warned Jeff about the backlash and so on and so forth. But they stated that the landscape is changing, right? It's changing enough to where people are going to not want to invest, and this is sad to say, but I think there's some truth to it. A lot of people are scared to invest because AAA gaming is becoming more and more expensive. So what folks want to do is be like, hey, here's an established IP. We know this IP will sell X amount of copies, rake in X amount of revenue. Let's continue to do DLC or games as a service type of stuff, right? So that's what you're going to see probably more of as the landscape changes. If we don't see changes in inflation, if we don't see changes in how these are produced, those AAA games, right? So this all comes back around to why this might be in there. Now, as my opinion, I don't agree. I don't think DLC should be part of a Game of the Year nomination. I think it's fine to have their own categories. I think they should, and they need to be talked about and celebrated, absolutely. But it doesn't matter how fantastic a DLC is, and I played plenty of DLCs, but I can tell you right now, I would not ever want, Shadowbringers from Final Fantasy XIV being nominated for Game of the Year. I wouldn't want Horizon Forbidden West expansion pack being, nominated for Game of the Year or anything like that. It's just not how I see a Game of the Year nominee. A Game of the Year nominee needs to be, in my opinion, a brand new IP, a brand new entry, not a remaster, not a remake, or a DLC. That would exclude The Last of Us Part 1 remake. That would exclude The Last of Us Part 2 remaster for those keeping track and what the fanboyism is, right? But just kind of wanted to share it with you. You get a lot of feedback there, but you know what? I do want to know down in the comment section below what you all think in regards to this. There's a lot of different categories, but this is ringing up the, talk of the town. And part of me also wants to think that this is creating some sort of drama behind the scenes that encapsulates viewers and wants them to tune in and see what happens and creates that controversy, because controversy sells, right? It just does. But of course, I just want to end on a little flash here. Just a quick reminder to the salty Xbox fanboys and shills out there that nothing on the Xbox side has won a Game of the Year, as you can see per the graphic there. Just all fun out of the side. Again, this is a Newsweek deal. But moving on, let's shift over. This was another big heavy hitter here. So next in line, of course, we got rumored. This is heavily rumored, but again, take with a grain of salt. This is not 100% in the books. There's nothing alluding to that yet. But the places where it is being leaked and where it has been talked about is every outlet, and it's coming from a pretty reputable sites and stuff like that, right? On top of that, we're talking about the parent company from software, some manga stuff, anime stuff, all that. So this is a big deal. I'll put up the graphic there as we're going over that and talking about it too. But this is huge because a lot of Xbox fanboys and shills are freaking out right now in regards to a possible acquisition. Again, it was okay when it was ZeniMax. It's okay when it was ABK, the biggest acquisition of all time. Still at this point in time, even if, this parent company ended up being acquired by Sony, still is not going to beat that of ABK. No, I don't also switch the bandwagon and think that consolidation is great for, the companies. I don't think it's great for gaming in general. I think, we need to create stuff. But again, the landscape is changing, so you want to latch onto those IPs. Now, a lot of folks out there, and I will put out my 2 cents here, I don't think everything's going to be exclusive going forward. If this is to happen, if the acquisition is to happen, I don't see this actually being an exclusive type of deal. Maybe you might get another Demon's Souls entry that might be exclusive, or at least a timed exclusive, maybe released alongside a PC release. We might even possibly start getting patches for a 60 frames per second Bloodborne patch, the fabled, elusive patch that we've been looking for as a PlayStation or Bloodborne fan. On top of that, we might get a Bloodborne sequel, throwing the Hail Mary out there, if you will. But again, if we're talking about the next Elden Ring, if we're talking about the next Sekiro, stuff like that, I don't see those being true exclusives. Worst case scenario, those are timed exclusives, which isn't going to hurt anybody in the long run. But again, you've kind of been accustomed to PlayStation, its ecosystem, and what's to be expected from that, right? You're getting those quality games. You're going to get certain exclusive content that is, at the top of their game. That's just how it is. All fanboyism aside, that's just how it is. But, at the same time, you like to see everybody kind of shivering, quaking in their boots, especially on the green side, because they'd like to talk up a big game, and now they're starting to freak out like, whoa. We were sitting there gloating and everything about Call of Duty and who owns what, and even though it's multi-plat and all that stuff, they like to do that. But when it comes to something else that they love and cherish and really enjoy, then they call foul play here. So you love to see that part of it, but karma, right? On top of that, we just like to see the differences there. And I think with what Bluepoint did with Demon's Souls, I think that's fantastic. I wish we would kind of get that kind of treatment with all the Souls games, Sekiro, even Elden Ring in due time. I mean, I know a lot of you are probably going to argue that Elden Ring does look really well, but does it look up to the standards of what Demon's Souls is? And yes, it's an open world game and all that stuff, but it can be done, right? So I think there's a lot of potential there. That's not what Bluepoint's going to continue to do, is do these remakes. They want to do their own thing. We're supposed to be seeing an expected IP from them as well. But I do think it's super interesting that this could be a thing. I think that would be a huge win, at least for Sony. And again, for anybody out there, again, all fanboyism aside, I don't think you're going to see too much exclusivity from this deal. So don't freak out if you are on the other side and you're not being that tribalistic person. Don't worry about it. Nothing much is going to change from that. So it's only going to benefit Sony for sure, but you as a consumer, I don't think it's going to affect you too much. So keep that in mind. Now, to round out the news for the week, the other thing I want to state, and I was just talking about it because I was messing around with my portal just yesterday, actually, at the time of this recording. And I was like, man, it's just, it's good. It works for what it does. But we always have in the back of our mind, right? It'd be great if this could stream from the cloud at the very least. We know it's not a dedicated handheld. That's not what it was created to be. That's not what it is. But as of moments ago before this recording, to add to this third topic, what we got was an official announcement. We are getting a beta software update for the PlayStation Portal, and this is going to allow select PS4 and PS5 games to be streamed from the cloud. Yes, directly from the cloud, meaning you don't have to connect to your system. That means you can use anywhere from, 7 megabits download speed and up to get 720p all the way up to 1080p, depending on your connection speed. So keep that in mind. So this is a great beta. And I think if that expands to the great catalog, your 400, 500 plus games that you can stream from that cloud library that you can currently do from your PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 5 Pro system, you can do that. So this is a big deal. Really is a game changer. A lot of folks were wondering why this wasn't there right out the gate. I think they pushed this device out ahead of time. I think this was always in the works, but here we have confirmation. Now, the other caveat to this, keep in mind, because I'm not going to sweep this under the rug. I'm not going to change it up. I'm not going to lie to you guys, because that's not what I do. That's not what we do here on this channel. Now, you do need to be a PlayStation Plus Premium subscriber in order to take place of the beta and continue to do the cloud streaming. So much like Game Pass Ultimate, you need that sort of thing for the cloud gaming anyways. You are going to need PlayStation Plus Premium, which is the highest tier that you have for the subscription plan. So if that does turn you off or away, then keep that in mind. That might be a no-go for you as an individual if you're not privy to doing subscription services, right? That's the only caveat to me. I don't take huge advantage of these subscription services. I don't look into those. I have the games I want to play. I buy the games I want to get by. But to keep in mind, if I'm traveling a lot, if I know I'm going to be around some Wi-Fi and stuff like that, this is a big positive to do that sort of subscription service. If it's going to benefit you at that time, again, you don't have to do the full year. You can do a month or two, whatever the case is. Keep that in mind as well. Now, another little caveat in case you didn't know, it is definitely confirmed that if you do or have upgraded to a PlayStation 5 Pro, you already have a Portal, or you plan to get both, or you're getting stuff for gifts soon for the holiday season, keep in mind that it does increase the quality of the streaming from your device. The PlayStation 5 Pro does. In addition to that, it does come out with clarity even better on that beautiful OLED screen. Truly beautiful screen. I love it. Aside from that, I mean, gosh, and it's just such a game changer, all this stuff. And I had to take a step back and be like, wow, this is what this device was meant to do right from the get-go. So all those folks trying to state that, hey, you know what, this PlayStation Portal rather, this is not it. Who's it for again? The price, this, that, and the other. Now they're eating crow because, this was always in the works. A lot of people kind of speculated like, look, it's going to happen. As a matter of fact, some rumors and leaks came out stating that this was going to be in the works, just a couple months after the Portal's release. So I think that's really cool. A lot of good information there as well, but just kind of wanted to hit all three topics there. A lot of stuff to hit before we get to the Salty Batch Files next episode, right? So just wanted to kind of go over that, but we'll end the video here. I do want to hear from you all, every single topic. If you have something to say, if you had an opinion about any of those, definitely let me know down in the comment section below. Would love to hear from you, of course. Also, if you could, leave a like. Both those things do help out the algorithm. And of course, if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator. That next goal being 3,000 subs. I know we can get there. You guys are fantastic. Thanks for helping build this great community because I could not do it without you. Hopefully you enjoyed this new segment and some of this might be new to you, or you just like to hear another opinion on the matter. With that being said, we'll let you have the rest of your day back, everybody, and we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault Gaming video. And until then, take care.